Hey guys, Dr. Ben here, F8 Well Centers. Excited to have you on live Q&A. Bring your questions, anything and everything. We've got a couple that we're going to get started with here, but now's the time. You've got to take massive action. You've got to move your feet. There's either wellness or there's illness, and there's a little bit in between, but you're either going one way or another. You can't just be status quo and you're like, you know what, I'm okay and I'm not taking any action and I'm not doing anything bad for myself. I'm just going to stay right here. That's not how your body works. Your body works either going towards health, going towards wellness, or you're going the other way. So which way are you going? Pop down below. Tell me whether you're going towards wellness right now or towards illness, and bring a question that's going to help turn that needle towards health, turn that needle towards getting more well, getting healthier. So love having you guys on. Pop down below where you're watching from, anywhere in this country, anywhere in the world. We can answer questions. I think it even will interpret. So if even if you can't speak English very well or right, go ahead and put that. Hey Lori, good to see you. Go ahead and put that message down below. Even if it's in a different language, I think we should be able to figure that out. So one question that we've been getting, hey Marianne in Germany, great to see you. You could say something in German. Let's see if it pops up, if it interprets for me. Amir in Thailand, same thing. Lori in Wyoming. Oh, good. Hey, we got one already. Hey, Heidi, great to see you. Good morning from Wyoming. What is the liver detox pathway and how do I support it? So there's actually 3 different pathways that we think about when we talk about the liver. There's phase 1 and phase 2, and that's actually in the liver itself. And then there's phase 3, which is in the digestive tract, and it takes that bundled toxin and excretes it. So phase 1 and phase 2, that's where we look at milk thistle and NAC and glutathione and a bunch of different nutrients that are going to support that phase 1, phase 2 detoxification. Think about the liver like this. The liver is not a screen. So we live on a septic tank, and so we've got, give me a thumbs up if any of you guys live on septic tanks out there. We've got the little screen in our kitchen sink, and we dump it out a couple times a day, any food that gets stuck in there, because we don't want that getting in the septic tank. That's not what the liver does. So you can eat liver, chicken liver, beef liver, whatever, and not have to worry about the toxins, because it doesn't store and filter toxins. It's actually a chemical detoxifier, so it changes it from insoluble to water soluble. Insoluble, like Dextane, you get it on your hands, you got to use turpentine, etc. Water soluble, like this paint, and you can wash your hands off, and it's going to that paint's going to go away. So the liver changes it from insoluble to water. Excrete that toxin, and it bundles it, puts it into the digestive tract. But if your microbiome is out of balance, if you're not having slow digestion, if you're not moving things as well as you should, it reopens, that bundle opens up, and from there we get this issue of then you're not going to be able to fully excrete it. You reabsorb it, and then you've got that toxin back in your body. So to truly liver detox, it's not that you're detoxifying the liver, you're giving the liver the tools it needs to be able to detoxify. Does that make sense? I hope that helps there. And Jen, good to see you. Kathleen, Toward Wellness here in Jeff City, Missouri. Awesome. Yeah, my parents had retired, and we had property down in Ozark County for many years. Linda, Towards Wellness, on the road to somewhere warm. All right, where are you heading? Hopefully someplace cool. Joe, good to see you there. Carolyn in Washington. Gina, great to see you. Nancy, good to see you. Lori, Arizona. Lucy, South Africa, thanks for jumping on again. All right, Melissa Snakenberg, love it. I had some thyroid markers drawn and just got some results back. My TPO antibodies are 688. We don't want them over 25, so guess what? That is high. I'm supposed to see my functional doctor in a couple of weeks, but was curious if you had any advice to me prior. So here's the deal. TPO antibodies, this means you have Hashimoto's. You need to check your thyroglobulin as well. So let me know if, Melissa, if you had that thyroglobulin, because that's the bus that transports it around the body. But if you have TPO antibodies, that means you're attacking your thyroid itself. And 688, pretty darn high there. You've got a lot of destruction going on. So it's not a thyroid disease, it's an autoimmune disease that's attacking the thyroid. So what do? Well, you've got to calm down, not just take some extra thyroid medication. That will never fix it. You've got to calm down that autoimmune reaction going on in the body. And so check out some of our videos. Brittany will link you to some on YouTube. And we've got ones talking about Hashimoto's. We've got them talking about autoimmune disease, a lot of different things. You've got to start looking. Vitamin D up to 80. Get off of gluten, leaky gut, adrenals. If your blood sugar is swinging high or low, that can definitely be a big part of it. Sorry. A little dry throat there this morning. So yeah, absolutely. You have an autoimmune condition, but you need to know, is it just TPO or is it also the transportation mechanism? Alicia. We have a boy 3 years old who complains often, but not all the time, about his legs hurting. Could this be growing pains? If it just started when he was 3 and if he's in a growth spurt, potentially. Otherwise, if he's undersized, if he's at the lower end of height and weight, it could be some growth issues coming from malabsorption, if he's been on antibiotics, if he's had any type of eczema, gut issues, things like that. It could be because he's not absorbing as well as he should. So glutamine is a great tool that you can get started with, and that can start helping that gut to repair. So thanks for jumping on there. Lexi, good to see you. Stephanie, HIIT workouts, is there a ratio of on to off time for the intervals, and how long is a decent workout? So Stephanie, here's what we talked about. I was just talking with a lady yesterday that's got she's almost recovered from her MS that she came in for, and so we're getting into that exercise part. And so I said, day one, do 3 minutes, then do 4 minutes, and then do 5 minutes, and then do 6 minutes, and work your way up. I would rather you get done with your workout and be like, that wasn't much, I feel good, fine, rest of the day, everything, as opposed to doing too much, going for 15, 20-minute workout, and then you're tired, you're yawning the rest of the day, you're down and out for the next 3 days. So you want to start slow, especially if you haven't been doing any exercise. But for me, a lot of times, I could do 150 wall balls in 10 or 12 minutes, and that could be my whole workout. So it doesn't have to be this long, hard thing. If you've got a stationary bike, I've got one Aerodyne with the arms as well, and I'll get on there and I'll go 30 seconds real hard to where the legs are like, feeling like they're swollen with blood, and then coast for 30 seconds. And just kind of breathe through it and relax, and do that for 5, 8, 10 minutes at the most, and that's going to be enough. So remember, it doesn't really matter whether you're on a stationary bike doing sprints, whether you're doing some push-ups against the wall, or some air squats, or burpees, or jumping jacks, whatever. You need to get that heart rate up 180 minus your age and stay consistent there for 5 to 10 minutes, and most people, that is going to be enough. If you want, Brittany, go ahead and pop Michelle's link on there for she's got a website where she has some sample workouts and some different things like that. Jennifer, good to see you in Eaton, and Emuna, nice to see you as well. Lexi, just had my vitamin D checked. It's only 41. How much vitamin D should I be taking to get it up? Probably at 41, about an additional 5,000 on top of what you're taking now. So if you're already taking 2,000, you need to take 5,000 more. If you're taking 5,000, you need to take 5,000 more. But getting up into that 60 to 80 range, if you're at 41, it's going to take about 5,000. Retest in about 3 months. Renee, great to see you there in Utah. Ohio, yeah, go Bengals. Yeah, pretty amazing turnaround for you guys there. Did not get the thyroglobulin. So it's not the goblin. I love that. So we were just watching with my boys Spider-Man, and the goblin was on there. So that's why I'm laughing. So it's thyroglobulin. So you want to write that down, Brittany, for Melissa, so she knows what to test for. It's the TG antibodies, thyroglobulin antibodies, whatever it's going to. Yeah, there you go, Melissa. Whatever it's going to do. I figured that was a spell check, but that was pretty funny. All right, I have a question. I have post-concussion syndrome from an MVA last May. I've heard about red light therapy. Would this be beneficial for someone who has a post-concussion syndrome? Absolutely. So we see this all the time with patients. You need to get a brain map done. If you don't have anybody local or don't know where to go, drop us a direct message. We can find somebody for you. Get a brain map done. You need to figure out what's going on many times. This is an amazing chart. I want you to Google Dr. Detox Karazian, and then Google brain injury mechanisms GI tract, and you will get this chart, and it's amazing. You're going to be able to see how much happens when somebody gets a brain injury and what happens to that gut. So you've got to figure out what's going on in your gut. The red light therapy can definitely be helpful, especially if it's strong enough that it can get deeper into the brain. The HIIT workouts that we were just talking about, that's going to be really beneficial because that's going to drive BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor, which is going to help speed up the healing of the brain as well. You've got to keep your blood sugar steady as possible. You've got to make sure you're not anemic, that your oxygen's flowing like it need to. A lot of different things. It has to be a multi-facet approach. www.liveO2.com. Brittany, you can put that in there. That is a great home unit that you can use. Oxygenate the brain. They have lots of protocols on how to do that as well. Hey Joe, great to see you. Have active Epstein-Barr as well as Lyme and 2 other tick-borne illnesses, as well as a mitochondria disorder. Man, yeah, you are. You're having a heck of a time. I feel for you, Joe. Taken Ultra Clear and was wondering if this is as good as Orthomolecular's Core Restore. So I haven't looked at the Metagenics lately since they were bought by Advoclear. And but going back 20 years, that's what my wife started on when she had all of her issues, skin and gut and gluten and all these things. She started on Metagenics, on Ultra Clear, and that was a huge boost to it. The Orthomolecular's Core Restore is okay as well. Brittany, you can pop down our liver repair from the website, and that's the one that we use with patients every single day. But I like I also, we have a mitochondrial support as well. But here's the deal: anytime you've got EBV, you've got Lyme, you've got all these different things, just doing a cleanse is not going to be enough. You're going to have to address as many different sides as you possibly can. Debbie, my boy was a little goblin sometimes too. Yes, I hope you have a wonderful day. Thanks for the smile. Yeah, unfortunately, those boys, I got 4 of them. They can be little goblins. Hey, Lori, I fasted overnight for blood work. This today, is it okay to take my supplements this morning? Yes, that's fine. You can take your supplements, totally fine. And again, for some people, if they're getting blood work, even if you eat, that's okay as well, because I like to see that non-fasting glucose, non-fasting insulin, non-fasting triglycerides. Stephanie, you are welcome. Kimmy, good morning, Doc, here in Southern California. Living a healthy lifestyle. Good. Hopefully you're going towards health and wellness, but lately seem to be struggling with a sweet tooth. Any advice on how to get rid of this? So look at your tongue, and if you want to, I don't know if you can post pictures or not, but see if you can post a picture of your tongue and see if there's any white coating on there, like the one we put up on Facebook yesterday. A lot of times, if there's a yeast or microbiome imbalance, that sugar will start feeding the yeast and that imbalance in the gut. So you've got to look into your gut first. The other thing is to start checking your blood sugar, because you may be having some dips, and a lot of times that's when we get those cravings as well. So look to the gut and look to the blood sugar. Julie, good to see you. Da, 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 da. Snowy Pueblo. All right, Lana, good to see you. Okay, Victoria, what is a good energy boosting supplement? Basically what we've got with the with energy boosting supplements, we've got and you can post that, Brittany, energy support. You can put that on from the F8 Well Store. We've got the supplements we use with our patients. In office, we've got them accessible, f8wellstore.com. Brittany will put a link in there. But here's the deal. If that's all you're doing is just taking an energy boosting supplement, you're not fixing anything. We've got some things. The energy support that we've got on there is going to be a great one, but it's a support. It's not an energy boost. It's not an energy fix. You've got to fix the underlying why. You've got to get to why the body's tired and doesn't have energy in the first place. So what does that mean? Well, you've got to look at the blood sugar and the liver and the thyroid and the adrenals and the gut and the brain and all these different systems. And then you can give a little support if your mitochondria is not working as well as it should, or things like that. So, Victoria, thanks for the question. Ashley, should we worry about 5G? We posted this the other day. The airlines are worried about 5G. Not sure if you saw that one, but go ahead and put a link on that one, Brittany, from a couple of days ago. We posted a link, and this was actually from CNN, so not some like conspiracy website, and it's not just a bunch of random people saying, hey, President Biden, look out for 5G. This was all of the major airlines saying that please do not put 5G around airports, because it is going to affect the communication that we're having with our airplanes, and it can be a major, major disruption. So, I mean, that, I don't know. I know there's a lot of people that are in the camp of, it's totally fine, and a lot of people in the camp that are like, oh my gosh, it's the worst thing ever. It's probably going to end up somewhere in the middle. It's going to have detrimental effects for some people. Some people are very sensitive to EMFs, to electromagnetics. 5G is just that next step. They've got 8G, 10G, 12G coming out, and the concern is that that with those radio waves and those radio frequencies, it can stimulate almost like a microwave effect in our planet. So it'll be interesting to see what can happen. That being said, at night, turn your phone off. Turn your phone on airplane mode. Turn your Wi-Fi off. If you're in an apartment and you can see 500 different Wi-Fis around you, there's things that you can do to help if you're having issues with EMFs. So should you lose sleep and not, oh my gosh, we're going to all die from 5G? Probably not. And yet, should you be aware of EMFs? And if you have sensitivities to that, absolutely. Are some collagen considered a high histamine food? Yes. Bone broth, some people that have histamine issues, bone broth can be problematic for them. Linda, my vitamin D is 76. How much vitamin D should I continue taking? I'm taking 5,000 right now. Well, 60 to 80 is a good level. It's probably not going to start going up from the sun anytime soon. So I think you are at a good amount there. Hey, Leslie in South Africa, good to see you. Tammy, can your blood sugar become low when you were coming down with a cold? I just talked to somebody yesterday about this as well, that usually we'll see somebody, if they're stressed, if they got COVID, things like that, that blood sugar will actually jump up. Check out our email. If you don't get our email, put your email address down below, or direct message us, and Brittany will get you on that list. But we just talked about today that some people post-COVID are actually developing diabetes, which is kind of interesting. But can your blood sugar go low when you're coming down with cold? I just talked to a patient yesterday. We use the continuous glucose monitors with all of our new patients, and so we're able to see pretty much every 5 minutes all day long for 3 months, able to see where that blood sugar is. And we are seeing that in some patients. So that definitely could be something that's going on. Rashana, both my young girls need iron infusion twice a year. Why? That's what I want all of you guys thinking. Any question you see like this, why? Why would your young girls need an iron infusion twice a year? Well, because they're low iron. Why are they low iron? That's what you got to keep asking. Iron infusion does not fix anything. You've got to fix the why. A lot of times there can be some gut lining issues where we can have even like this one, you can have this raw, irritated gut lining here, and after we go through the program, it can heal up dramatically. So you can be losing blood in there, and you can have irritated gut, leaky gut, things like that, malabsorption, and that could actually be doing it. So you've got to look into that. And yes, Amina, absolutely. You are so welcome. Love having you on. Do you have a phone number to call to schedule online appointments? I can't come in person, but I'm thinking of getting that blood work and stuff done to see what can be done. My oral thrush problem. Carolyn, absolutely. So Brittany will pop that down below on that website, f8wellstore.com. There's a one of the tabs there is a full comprehensive blood panel in consultation with one of our F8 doctors, highly trained to review that blood work, give you a game plan, come up with how to get rid of your thrush, how to fix your blood sugar, your Hashimoto's, your autoimmune, your leaky gut, whatever it is, we'll be able to give you those answers. Go on there. We drop ship you straight from the lab. You get a box. You go either call a mobile phlebotomist will come out and draw your blood, or you can go to your local lab, get that blood drawn, pop it into FedEx, go to the lab, we get that blood work back in a week. We'll sit down over Zoom and go through line by line. We're looking at full Hashimoto's and thyroid markers, other autoimmune RF, rheumatoid factor, ANA, inflammatory markers, C-reactive protein, homocysteine. We're looking at lots and lots of different markers here and really giving you an idea of where those imbalances are coming from. So no matter where you guys live, anywhere in the country, that blood draw, it would be $3,000 if you just walk into your normal lab. So for a few $100s, you get this blood test that is amazing. So yeah, Carolyn would love to talk to you. Exactly. Rashana, why don't they absorb iron? So it's either they're not absorbing iron, but more than likely they're actually could even be losing some blood. Their gut is so irritated. But yeah, we'd have to do a full blood panel on that. How to use oil of oregano capsule for H. pylori? What doses? How many times a day? So we just got all of our products on the website, and the Oregano Max, Brittany, go ahead and pop a link to that one. The Oregano Max, you would want to do 3 of the pills 3 times a day on the Oregano Max for the H. pylori. So, and you would want to go through at least 1 bottle of that, if not probably 2, because it does take about 30 days of kill off to do that. So if you need support with that, drop us a line and we can tell you what to order on there. Hey, Dr. mentioned low dose methotrexate for chronic fatigue and inflammation. Can you give your opinion about that? I've had it, I've read it can cause skin cancer. So low dose methotrexate, that's basically, we're looking at chemo. A lot of different things are in that same category. So long term, no, that's not a good thing. You got to figure out why you've got chronic fatigue in the first place and why you've got that inflammation. If you stabilize your blood sugar, if you get your liver, your gut, your brain, your thyroid, your adrenals, your pituitary, your testosterone, all of these things balanced out, and you still have those symptoms, then maybe you would go down that path. But otherwise, you're barking up the wrong tree if all you're trying to do is cover up those symptoms. Okay, Carolyn, sorry we're cutting out here. I know we've got some weather going on here that may be part of it, but Brittany is going to send you a message and get you all squared away with getting that blood work done. Tinnitus just started January 2020. Start with liver, unless it's a ear damage thing, hearing damage. Start with the liver. Victoria, you're welcome. Joe, yes, I'm pretty screwed up. My FM practitioner has me on massive supplements and trying to get my gut fixed before starting to get rid of the Lyme. I believe that my active Epstein-Barr was reactivated by COVID. Yeah, we've talked about that a lot. The majority of people that have COVID long haul, it is a reactivated Epstein-Barr. It stinks. It's not fair. Those spike proteins, not sure how they jacked with them in the lab there in Wuhan, but they definitely are not constructive. Do, 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 Lucy treated esophagus. Esophagus, I'm guessing, but that I know you're in South Africa there, so it may say it a little bit different. Esophagus and stomach ulcers, gastrologist, 6 months still having pain, arm, legs, and chest. So here we go. Just by treating stomach ulcers, just by treating the esophagus and the gastritis, you're not fixing anything. You've got to fix why it's irritated in the first place. A lot of times, look up the vagus nerve, VAGUS. Look up the vagus nerve and coffee retention enemas. It's a bigger concept than what I can talk about right now, but this is going to be a huge part of getting that that fixed up there. And great. Okay, you know what, guys? I gotta jump, but put any other questions down below. We will keep answering those. Brittany will shoot them over to me all day long, and even tomorrow if you're getting on this later, and I will be answering those questions. Remember, are you going towards wellness? Are you going towards illness? Where is that needle moving? You need to be always taking action, moving towards that wellness side, because just hovering and trying to maintain in the middle is not going to do it. Either you're falling or you're moving forward, one or the other. Get your feet moving, get your body as healthy as possible. If you need support, we can drop ship that blood kit anywhere in the country, even up in Canada, Australia, different places. And we can figure out what is out of balance. We'll consult with you, one of our F8 doctors, and really get you dialed in on what you need to be doing. So love having you guys on. If you've got any questions at all, drop us a line. Take care.